2 and 3. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, how's it going? How the fuck are you? Welcome to the Death by Internet podcast, episode 28. It is Saturday, the 26th of October, 2019. What's going on? How are you? A long time since I've done a solo one. I've been doing a lot of guest podcasts recently, which is nice because it means I have friends. Everybody loves friends, right? It's good to show that you have friends. Friends, the people, not the TV show. That show kind of sucked. And I know you're not supposed to say that. That's one of those shows that everybody loves, but it's kind of shit. I kind of just say that I like it so that my roommate doesn't kick me out of the house and girls will still think I'm relatable, you know? But if I'm honest, the show kind of stinks. What's been going on, you know? I've done a few things in my life. Not done a few things. I've had a lot of things happen in my life, which has stopped me from doing like a solo podcast or anything else really. But now we're back, and we're not only back, we're back with video, and not only video, we're back with 2 camera angles. So for the people that are just listening, you can actually watch this podcast unfold on YouTube with 2 camera angles, because that's what this podcast was missing. This podcast, you know, the only thing that was holding it back, what was holding this podcast back? What was it that's holding this podcast back? Is it the fact that really it's only your friends and random strangers on the internet that listen to it? Is it the lack of knowledge on any given subject? Is it your lack of research? Is it the fact that your guests are all just really your mates? No, it's the fact that I didn't have a double camera angle thing happening, and now I do. So now you're just going to see this podcast is just going to go fucking up the charts, you know, taken off. Eventually it's going to hopefully turn into some sort of cult where I am the cult leader, and I'm all for it. I reckon I'd be a pretty good cult leader, and, you know, I wouldn't ask for any money or anything. We just hang out. Watch episodes of Breaking Bad, you know, just have a good time. Anyway, so why I decided to do a solo podcast, because I've done a couple of things in my life, you know, that I want to get off my chest. And I just wanted to do one. Just wanted to check in with you, see how you're going, even though you can't talk back or anything, which is why I like doing this. And, just see how you're going. What are your thoughts on that Joker movie? Hey? This is really weird, going back and forth between the 2 cameras. I think I have to pick one that I focus on. Is that how the professionals do it? You pick one camera that you look at, and then you just look at that one, and then you use the other one when you need to cut something out because you've said something stupid. I assume that's what happens. But anyway, so I watched that new Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. That's me. And, you know, look, it was all right. It's a watchable movie. So when I went to go watch it, it was a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday night. It was a weekend, and I went to go watch it by myself, which kind of shows you where I'm at as a person. But you know what? Fucking underrated. You know, underrated going to the movies by yourself, because when you think about it, movies aren't a social thing. All you're doing is you're sitting in a room with someone, staring in the same direction. Like, and because if you talk to the person next to you, you're an asshole, you know? You're a fucking dickhead if you're talking throughout the movie. You're meant to enjoy movies as a quiet person. So why not just go by yourself? If you want to go watch a movie and you don't want to ask anybody because generally you don't like people. I mean, that's the situation I found myself in. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the fucking movies by myself. I've done that twice this year, and it's funnily enough, I've been to the movies twice this year, both those times by myself. And I thought it was great. It's empowering, you know. As a woman of the 21st century, I found it really empowering. No, I thought it was really cool, you know, breaking the social construct of going to the movies, which is nice, except the fact that, like, I mean, okay, advantages. You can always pick where you want to sit, because, like, everybody goes to the movies with somebody else, and that's usually even numbers. And for some reason, in most cinemas, there's like an odd number of seats in the row. So, you're not always going to have couple. Eventually, there's going to be one free. And there was one seat free in the one solo seat, one sad, lonely solo seat in like the almost back row, dead center in the middle. Because when people pick their seats, they pick them in pairs. And for some reason, like it's like the urinals, you don't want to pick the seat that's next to somebody if you can avoid it. So, I ended up in between two couples. And that was the only weird thing is that like when I was lining up by myself and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to the movies by myself, I'm breaking barriers. I'm normalizing this behavior because that's what this, this is a dumb social construct that we've constructed. And by going to the movies by myself, I'm breaking that barrier. I'm setting a course for other people. And and it was just awkward because when I was lining up to get my ticket checked, everybody else was in a couple, and I'm kind of standing there, and I had all my popcorn and my drinks, which cost fucking $16, and I needed a pee, but I can't. Like when you go by yourself, you can't just be like, "Here, you hold this," because there's no other person there. So I had to take my popcorn and my drinks into the bathroom with me while I peed. And look, I wasn't a big fan of that, I'll be honest. I sat them on top of like a paper towel dispenser. As I wanted to bring them into the bathroom with me because I pee in the urinals like a fucking man, all right? If you're a man and you go into the cubicles, fucking it's over. Don't go outside at all, ever. But I go by the urinals because it's an open space too, and like if somebody wanted to steal my shit, I can look over my back shoulder, like you're still in the same room, and because like you can't bring food and drinks with you into a cubicle. That's no way. That's one social construct that nobody's ever gonna break because that's too much. But I decided to, because the paper towel dispenser is within like vision in sight range of the urinal that I chose. So I was peeing and I was looking behind me at the same time, just making sure no one took my $16 popcorn. Because it's $16, you got to fucking protect that shit. That's worth a lot. That's more than most people get paid, I think. Anyway, so I ended up going to the movies by myself and to go see Joker. And it's a good movie. It's passable. I just thought it was trying to like everyone like okay, so the hype, the build up to it is this is one of those movies that's like it's amazing because everybody builds up the Joker as this amazing character, and because Heath Ledger died throughout filming of the last one, that it becomes this sort of like mythical thing bigger than the movie itself, and so you want to do it justice. The character justice, and then like Jared Leto had that fucking god awful performance as the Joker where he was like trying to be some weird fucking cartoony gangster thing, and they ended up cutting him out of half the movie anyway because he was so shit, and he went through this weird thing. Like he was the like cringe epitome of that portrayal of that character because like apparently he went full method. Jared Leto did when he became the Joker. So he apparently as a prank or whatever, and he was stealing character. Like he was trying to do the Daniel Day-Lewis thing, and he I don't know if you know this, but he jizzed into a bunch of envelopes and then sent it to cast members as a prank. Who the fuck? How come he didn't get Me Too'd? No one discussed that shit. Jared Leto is just so weird and like uncomfortable that people just like skated right past that. Like nobody ever remembers that he's like, I remember when he sent his jizz to everybody in envelopes? No? Okay. And the reason everyone forgot about that is because his portrayal of the Joker was so fucking shit that wasn't him sending jizz in envelopes to his castmates wasn't even the worst thing about that performance. That's how bad it was. Anyway, so look, man. Okay, good things. Joaquin Phoenix, amazing. Is it Jacqueline or Jacqueline Phoenix, whatever his name is? He did a fucking sick job, and he did like he's got this weird thing with his shoulder blades. He's like his shoulder blade is all fucked up, and it adds to the character, which is dope because he's real skinny, and he like I'll give props to anyone that gives like 100% commits 100% to a role, and that's what he did. But the only thing is, you can only commit to what's written for you, and what's written for him is kind of lame. I thought that like it tries to do too much, like it's trying to like it thinks it's deeper than it is. Like it has this whole sort of this is the state of society and how we treat people with mental illness, and we're sticking it to the rich, and it has all these different sort of messages and themes that it wants to get across, but I don't think it does any of those single themes justice, and then it just ends up being a bit messy, and then this whole scene, and spoilers by the way if you haven't seen it, but the whole scene and the whole movie ends in this, like culminates in this big scene where he goes on this talk show with fucking De Niro, who's supposed to be like some Johnny Carson figure or whatever, and it sort of culminates in this. He has that snap moment where he just like he says everything that the writer or director wanted to say in the movie, you know? And like that's the thing about movies, and like not that I'm a fucking expert on movies or anything, but I like you want to show and not tell, you know? And just having your character say outright the theme and the motive of the whole movie is just fucking, it's shit. Like it's just it's a little on the nose, you know? And I don't know. I thought that was the worst part for me, is that it's like, okay, it's saying all this stuff, cool, but it's like it's saying it in a way that's super obvious, and like it's written by a fucking someone. It's just too obvious. You know, there wasn't any subtlety, and I know that that's kind of hard when he's in, like the character of the Joker is in every shot of the movie. Basically, it's like a noir film, and I just thought that was a little bit, I don't know, a bit dodge, you know, and like it does suffer from the fact that Heath Ledger fucking nailed it, and but the reason that he nailed it is because he had like something of a better screenplay. Like The Dark Knight, trust me, there are flaws in that movie, and sometimes that dialogue is a little on the nose, but they went with the symbology and the ideological themes a bit better. Like, you know, Joker's meant to represent like just pure chaos, and he's the perfect antithesis to, or opposition or whatever, to Batman, who represents a different, like the opposing justice theme, blah blah blah, or whatever. And it just became, and it's like the perfect, and I think that's why the Joker movie, the Joaquin Phoenix one, is sort of suffers, because it's like, yeah, it's the Joker, like he's meant to be fighting Batman, so when you give him a definite origin story, he loses the symbology and the pure symbology of the character, like what the character represents. Like in The Dark Knight, the character of the Joker sort of represents an idea, rather than in the Joaquin Phoenix movie, where he's a bit more, he's humanized, but then when you humanize him, you lose the sort of, you lose the symbology a bit, you lose the idea of metaphor, because it's all there, like you're seeing all of it. Does that make sense? Probably not. Am I speaking out of my ass? Definitely. But that's just how I felt from the movie, you know? Other than that, it's a pretty good movie. I thought the cinematography was dope. All the costumes and all that shit was cool as. And there's the chick, I don't know who the woman is that plays Joaquin Phoenix's mother in the thing. It was great. She plays the same character. Like she is, I swear to God, I don't know what her name is, and I'm not going to Google it because this podcast does not run on research. But she is, I swear to God, she's like a sick mum in every fucking movie that she's in. And she's great. And I thought, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was all right. It was a passable movie. It's like, but I feel like you could watch, there are so many other movies that do that movie better, like in terms of like the themes and stuff. But the performance is out of this world. It's fucking great. But I just, I get the same value, or I get better value out of, say, Fight Club and Taxi Driver than Joker. And I feel like, and I know that like there's definitely homages to those movies in Joker, but I felt like it was still trying to be those movies too much. Does that make sense? And also there's like this really cool, what I did like is there's this cool like throwback or homage. They pay homage to that, to Heath Ledger's Joker in that last shot where he's like, where he's just shot De Niro in the head and he's got his head resting against the back of the cop car. You know, that shot. I really like that one. I like that. I like that as subtle, not subtlety, but it paid homage in a sort of creative way that still fit in with the story and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so that's my review on the Joker. Is that okay? Is everyone all right with that? I don't know. I thought it was all right. It was good. I would watch it again, but probably not in the cinema. Definitely not in the cinema. I mean, $16 for popcorn and a drink. That's fucking outrageous. But I would watch it again. But if I watched, I didn't get much value from watching it in a cinema. You know, like I could have watched that in fucking like at home on Netflix or whatever, and I would have had the same reaction, and I wouldn't have bought popcorn that cost $16. That's really what my main issue here is with the movie Joker, is that it's attached to cinemas, and cinemas charge way too much for popcorn and a drink. Yeah, anyway, as you can tell, I'm at a point in my life where I'm broke. Anyway, so that was my review on the Joker. Yeah, what else is going on? Yeah, I didn't really prepare much for this podcast. I think I just wanted to talk about that, really. Maybe I'll do a short one today. I don't really know. Oh, wait, shit. Hold up. Wait a minute. Today is October 26th, so when I'm recording this, so Jesus is King dropped today for me. I think it dropped this morning, and I've listened to it, and I got to say, Kanye, yeah, man, you did it again. And I know that nobody, the internet, I haven't read any reviews. I haven't looked at any Reddit discussions. I haven't looked at, I've only talked about it with one other person, the guy I went to lunch with today, my mate. And he hasn't listened to it, so we barely talked about it. So this is pure from my first two listens. And I like it, okay? I like it. But I know, and I'm going to bet that the internet generally is not going to like this album because, I mean, the album's called Jesus is King. It's a Christian album. It's gospel. No one's going to like this. Like, from a standpoint, if I was Kanye's manager, and fucking props to whoever that dude is, like, you have your plate more full than anybody surely in the managing crazy people industry. But this is such a weird move, but that's Kanye, man. He does whatever the fuck he wants, and that's why I like him. Like, I get asked all the time, bro, why do you like Kanye? What do you like about Kanye? And like, I wrote some shit down that I'm gonna pull up now, and no, wait, shit, I didn't actually write anything down. Fuck. Anyway. But first of all, I'll talk about the album. The album itself, from a musical standpoint, it's nothing groundbreaking, nothing amazing in terms of production, but I don't mind that. Like, it's just, for me, it's new Kanye shit, and I'm going to like it because I just dig, and maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm like part of that Kanye fandom or that any fandom really, where he could release a fart into SoundCloud and I'd think it's amazing. I mean, I thought that poopity scoop, I thought that song was fucking amazing. I like that. And that song is plain dog shit. And I know it is, but I can't help but like it. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? Somebody please tell me. But I just like it, man. Can I just like his music? Like, it's fucking good. And like, I know, and like, he's very clearly he's very clearly a crazy person. Like, he's very clearly got issues. He's off his meds. But what other crazy person is putting out consistently good music to the level that Kanye is, you know? And look, okay, so Kanye, the gospel thing, if you took the, if you took the gospel out of it and you replaced Jesus with the word Kanye or whatever, and if that helps, then the album is still pretty good from a musical standpoint, but you have to address the fact that it's a Christian album. And for me, personally, like, I grew up Catholic, and I grew up not only Catholic, but I grew up as the son of a man who leads a Filipino choir at church every Sunday, right? So I grew up going to church, and my experience of church, so because of that, my experience of church was pretty good, you know? And I grew up Catholic. I didn't get molested. You know, I had a good time. I was with family. I associate, religion with just having a good time with my family. You know? Because, no one touched me, which I think that's pretty good these days. Apparently everyone got touched apart from me. So when I'm not religious anymore. Like, I don't identify with a religion anymore. That's a whole other thing that I'm not going to get into on this podcast. But so I'm not afraid of, like, when artists, and because Chance the Rapper, he's very religious, like he has gospel Christianity themes in a lot of his work now, and I'm kind of fine with that, like, because it's because if you take the lyrics too seriously of anything, any music, then you're not going to have a good time. If you break down anything pure lyrically and thematically, then you're not going to have a great time. You only have shit that you relate to? Nah, sometimes some shit sounds good and the lyrics are kind of weird, but it sounds good, so fucking enjoy it, you know? And so I like the sound of, I like gospel shit. Like, that sound is dope. Like, the choirs, the black choirs, the big drums, that shit's dope. It sounds good. You can't deny. I mean, you probably can deny, but it's up to taste, but I think that sounds good. Anyway, so back to Kanye. And, like, so I get asked a lot, why do you like this dude? You know, why are you into him? He's so full of shit. He's full of contradictions, you know? Who isn't, man? Who, like, he is out of, I know how weird this sounds, but for me, for some reason, he is the most human out of every big celebrity. Like, because Kanye is, like, super celebrity level, you know? Like, he's up there with, like, the Justin Biebers and obviously the Kardashians. Like, he's at a level where he can't ever go to, like, the store, you know? He can't ever do that. He's just at this huge level. But out of all that, he seems somehow more grounded in reality, or more grounded in humanness. And he's like, because he's so contradictory. Like, we're talking about a guy that started off saying, George Bush doesn't care about black people. And then a couple of years later, he's wearing a MAGA hat. That doesn't make any fucking sense. We're talking about a guy that his first big track was called Jesus Walks. And then he released, a couple of years later, releases a song called I Am a God. And then a couple of years after that, he releases an album called Jesus is King. It's the biggest contradiction ever. He in the latest interview, he talks about his porn addiction and why porn is bad, and he married Kim Kardashian. How many more contradictions can one man have? You know? He talks about anti-consumerism, in his early work, is anti-consumerism, and then he's charging like $4 million for a plain white t-shirt. But let me ask you this. Is that not the most human fucking shit ever? Because we're all fucking full of shit. Everybody's full of shit. But if you gave me the amount of talent, like musical talent that Kanye has, and the level of experience that I'd probably turn out the same. I'd be doing whatever the fuck I wanted, and none of it would make sense. And if I was crazy and I was off my meds, you just lean into it, you know? And he lives this super fame life that none of us can really relate to. So I don't know why everyone's sort of expecting him to be like, to drop a normal album. What's a fucking normal album? What's a normal person? Kanye he's an enigma. He's a fucking cultural phenomenon. None of it makes sense because nothing makes sense anyway. Everybody is fucking full of shit. We're all messy as fuck, you know? So whatever. Make some good fucking music. And he does. And I'm thankful for it. And if he started a cult, I'd be first in the line. I mean, he kind of already is started a cult. But like, how fucking boring would it be if Kanye didn't exist? I just don't want to imagine that world. Anyway, maybe I'm obsessed. It's probably not good for me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I turn out in a couple of years. Anyway, that's my review of Jesus is King. None of that made sense. I think I'm just trying to justify how much I like Kanye, because let's be honest, I can't justify it. I wrote an essay for university about why he should be the next president. I'm fucking Australian. I don't give a shit if he's president. It doesn't matter. Anyway, what else am I going to talk about? Where are we? 26-ish minutes. That's already... we'll keep this one short. The last thing, what else is going on in the news? We got... I don't know. I don't care. Does anybody actually watch the news anymore? You know? Why does anyone watch the news? Oh, there's people complaining about... I think Uluru got closed down to climbing. That's good, right? They closed it. Like, I remember... I mean... Why would you... Like, okay, I understand wanting to climb it, but after you know that people don't want you to climb it, like the First Nations people or whatever, just don't fucking climb it. Do you have to climb it? You know? Like, okay, cool. And for me, personally, like, I'm not First Nation, I'm not white Australian, all right? So I don't really have a dog in the race. But I am, I do hike. Like, I do like going on long walks and walking up hills and shit. But if I see a big rock, I don't have to climb it, you know? Like, what is it with this thing that we see a big rock and we're like, oh, we've got to fucking climb it. Just don't fucking climb the rock. How hard is that? Just, you know, people don't want you to climb it. All right, I'll climb something else. There's plenty of fucking big rocks to climb. The whole fucking world is a rock, technically. Climb a different rock. It's just a rock. I mean, it's just a rock to us, but to certain people, it's a very significant rock. So let's just don't be a fucking dick. Just, you know. And then, because I remember, like, back in the day, and look, you used to be able to climb it, you know? You used to be able to climb it, and then people were, like, taking shits on it and stuff. So, like, okay, we'll let you climb it, just don't take a shit on it. Oh, but we're going to take a shit on it. All right, well, then don't fucking climb it. Like, how hard is it not to climb a rock? When I see a rock, I don't try to climb it. And I don't know if that's just because, and it's not out of respect, it's out of mostly because I hate cardio, but... You know, just don't fucking climb the rock. Is it that hard? How much do you... Like, just climb the Harbour Bridge. The Harbour Bridge is there. That's something, you know, that built by white Australians that you can climb. Why does it have to be this particular rock that you want to climb? Surely the view of the rock is better than the view from the rock. Isn't that the whole thing? People, let me know. Don't let me know. I'm not going to respond. I don't know. I don't know why I don't know why we have to climb this. Was it bringing in that much money? You know? Is it like a financial thing? We're like, well, if we stop people from climbing the rock, no one's going to climb the rock and then all the tourism money will be gone. I mean, that's probably the only argument, but who gives a fuck? Yeah. And like, because I remember back in the day, I remember when they changed it from Ayers Rock to Uluru and people were shitting all over that. You know? And then they started shitting all over the rock and it doesn't matter. It's just don't climb the rock. Let's just, because we fucked them up. You know? We took over everything. And by we, I mean Australians. Like, as a citizen of Australia, we fucked them up, the First Nations people. And they are still fucked up from that. You know? So why not? Okay, so we're slowly trying to repair that. So let's just let them have a rock. It's a fucking rock. that you don't have to climb. Let them have it. You know? We stole their children. We can give them a rock. Does that make sense to anyone? Is that insensitive? I don't know. Probably. Am I going to get fired? I don't know. Probably. Just don't climb the fucking rock. Let's just move on from that. That's my take on Uluru. Yeah, climb the fucking harbour bridge. I've never been to Sydney. Is that weird? I've never been to Sydney. Nothing really excites me about it. I'll go there eventually, but I don't know. And it won't be to climb the fucking harbour bridge. That shit looks lame. The view of the bridge is probably better than the view from the bridge. You know? I think it's just people don't understand photography. Like a big landscape shot with nothing in it isn't that interesting. But if you have like a cool looking rock in it, that's a bit more interesting than, you know. And if you like, and most of the time people just want to take a selfie at the top. Like that's what people want. But if you take a selfie from the top of Uluru, you're not going to see Uluru in that selfie in the background. So you've got to take a selfie at the bottom with Uluru in the background, which you can do without having to climb the rock and upsetting a bunch of people, you know? Just let them have a fucking rock. Don't climb it. Fuck, do something else with your life. Anyway, I think that's it. I've babbled on for about half an hour here, so I don't really have anything to plug. I'm doing a Halloween show at some point. I think that's on the 31st. I think it's in north side of Melbourne, and it's like a storytelling night. And I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm meant to tell like a spooky story, but I don't really have anything. So if anyone has any ideas, send them through my way. I've got gigs coming up, but I'm just sort of in the middle of like writing new material and shit. So I don't want anyone to come see me. It's not good. It's not good. But you know, follow me. I think I'm going to finally set up a actual comedy Facebook page for my comedy, and I think I'm gonna start posting shit. Hopefully, just to sort of smash the socials. Oh, actually, one thing I can plug is I've started running some good comedy rooms, and the next one is called. So the next one's called Showtime Comedy. Fucking go to that. It's actually a massive, sick lineup. Tickets are only $15, $12 if you're a concession, and you can get 2 tickets for $20 if you want to do like a date night sort of deal. It's called Showtime Comedy. It's Melbourne's best comedians. I'm not on the lineup though, but I'm helping run it, which is important, and it's on November the 14th. It is at the MC Showroom in Prahran, like Chapel Street, just off Chapel Street. And I used to live around there actually, my first year of uni. It was pretty fun. And we've got Louis Spears, big name, he's headlining. We've got Joseph Green as the MC, Alex Ward, Sonia Diorio, Tim Logan, and my man Isaac Jones is also performing that night. Show starts at 8 p.m, November 14th. You should definitely come to that. Otherwise, follow me on all the socials, you know, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Do all that shit. And, you know, and then other than that, just look after yourselves, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.